Hello guys, welcome back to Code Your Trade. This is the fourth part of the series, which is coding a trading strategy from scratch. In the last video, we placed a straddle and placed SL for that, and we also handled error cases if the orders were not placed correctly for multiple reasons. In this video, we'll continue to code the next part, which is universal exit function. So whenever we call this function, all the open positions and any open orders will be closed instantly. Let's write the function. Let's go to the top. Here, we'll say def universal exit, and inside this function we'll say while true. Inside this we'll have a try except block. We'll say except exception as E, and inside the try block we'll say positions is equal to pd dot data frame, and inside this we'll call a function from Shunya's API which is get positions. Let's go to the documentation and see what this function does. So we'll click on get positions. If you can see, when we call this function, it will return us with all the positions, both closed and open, and we also get multiple data points. Let's come back to our code. We'll say API dot get positions, and after this we'll also say orders is equal to pd dot data frame, and we'll say API dot get order book, which is also a Shunya API endpoint. If you go to the API documentation, it's actually API dot get order book, and we'll get all the information of open orders and closed orders. We'll come back to our code. After getting positions and order book, we'll come down and we'll say break, and inside exception we'll print an error message. After this we'll give it a time dot sleep of 1 second. We'll say continue. So what this code is doing is it will continue to make API calls every second if we don't get both position and order book. We'll come down, we'll create a for loop, we'll iterate over the orders data frame. We'll say for order in orders dot iter tuples, and we'll have a try except block, except exception as E, and inside the try block we'll say if order dot status in, will check if the status is trigger pending or if the status is open. If the order status is in any of these, we'll say API dot cancel order, and will access order dot no run order number. So this cancel order is also an API method from Shunya's Python library. So if we go to the documentation, we can see cancel order function. If we go to the function, it accepts the order number. So what it does is if there are any open positions, calling this function with that corresponding order number will close that open order. We'll come back to our code, and after this we'll just print a message telling this order number was cancelled. Now cancelling our open orders is done. In the except block, if there are any exceptions, we'll print an error message. In this for loop, all our open orders will be closed. Now let's do the same thing for positions. If you guys saw how we closed all the open orders, we used the details from the order data frame itself. So for positions also, we'll say for position in positions dot iter tuples, and we'll have a try except block, except exception as E, and inside the try block I'll get the net quantity. We'll say net quantity is equal to, we'll convert the string format to int. We'll say position dot net qty, which is the quantity, and we'll say if the net quantity is less than 0, we'll call the place order function. We'll pass by cell, we'll say const dot by, and inside this product type is equal to, I'll access the product type from position itself. I'll say position dot prd, and next would be exchange. I'll also access this from the position itself. It's position dot exch, and next would be a trading symbol. I'll say symbol is equal to position dot tysm. Next would be quantity, and we've already got the quantity. We'll just say absolute of net quantity. We'll say product type is equal to position dot prd, and I'm sorry, this price type should be const dot let's see if I have define market. Yes, price type market will come here. We'll just access that, and after this price is equal to 0. Don't forget to put the comma, and we'll say trigger price is equal to none because we are placing market order, and we'll say remarks is equal to, can give kill switch by. I think this is all the parameters which place order function accepts, and here after the function is called, we'll just print a message which looks something like this. We're basically printing the trading symbol which we are closing, and after this we'll say L if the net quantity is greater than 0, and if it is, the only difference here would be instead of const buy, we'll do const sell, because the quantity is greater than 0. That means we have a buy position. If there is a buy position, we'll just sell the same quantity of the trading symbol. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it down below, and instead of buy, I'll just tell sell, right? So this part is done. After, in the exception block, we'll just print an error message which will look something like this. If there are any exceptions, we'll print the trading symbol in the error message. Like this, our universal exit function is done. Once this function is called, our open orders will be closed and our open positions will be closed. Just a little correction: if the net quantity is greater than 0, we don't have to convert the net quantity into absolute value because it's in positive value itself. But in the above if condition, if the net quantity is less than 0, we are actually taking the absolute of the net quantity, because net quantity will be in negative number. So if you are placing order, we want the net quantity to be in positive number. In the elif condition, instead of kill switch buy, we'll say kill switch sell, and this is it. If we come to the flow chart, we have covered the first part, which is placing the straddle at 9:30 am, and we have also covered placing 30% SL for these legs, and we have now also covered the error part. The next part would be to handle the SL hit and place new orders and trial the existing order to 15% SL. Now we also need to consider the fact that SL placement might have some errors, like when the trigger price is out of bounds and our SL order is rejected. We'll handle this scenario in event handler order update function, where we'll get updated with any changes in our position or SL. If you guys remember, we gave a remark while placing SL order, which is C first SL and P first SL. What we'll do now is, inside the event handler order update function, we'll check if the tick data for C first SL remark, and if it has a status as rejected, then we'll update the SL not placed correctly flag, which will create now. So we'll come to the top, we'll say SL not placed correctly, and we'll set this to false. Let's come back to our event handler order update function, and let's import this to our global SL not placed correctly variable, and inside this we can check if remarks in tick data and tick data remarks is equal to C first SL, and we'll say status in tick data and tick data status is equal to rejected. If this is the case, we'll set SL not placed correctly to true, and we'll print for CE order was rejected. And the reason why we are getting tick data in yellow squiggly lines is because we should update the parameter we are getting inside the event handler function. Let me explain what we are trying to do here. So in the if condition, we are checking in the tick data we are getting, do we have remarks, and in that remarks, do we have that remark set to C first SL, and we are also checking if the tick data has status and that status is rejected. This means our SL order placement is not successful and our SL order is rejected. We'll try to understand this more by the response structure we are getting for this tick data. We'll go to Shunya documentation, and this is the order update response we are getting from Shunya. Here you guys can see we are also getting back remarks. Remarks is nothing but whatever the value we gave while placing SL or normal order, and we are also getting status back. This status contains different order updates like new, replaced, complete, rejected. So if the order is rejected or completed, we can get this from status and match it against our given remarks. If you guys can see, there is one more parameter called rejection reason. What we'll do is we'll copy this parameter, we'll come back to our code, and while printing our SL order for C is rejected, we'll also print the rejection reason. We can do this by giving tick data, and we'll access this rejection inside this tick data. To make this work, we'll just give F and this will work. We'll copy the entire function and we'll do the same for P first SL. Here we just have to change P. Below we can say instead of C, we can do it for P. Now this is done. Now we have one more option, that is to make universal exit triggered as true and to trigger universal exit function. As this is only an SL order not placed situation, I won't be doing that. If you guys want to, you can go ahead and do that. We'll come down to our main function where we have our while true loop, we'll have to have some conditions here. If you guys remember, we introduced universal exit triggered flag. If this flag becomes true, we have to stop our function. That means all our positions will be exited and we have to stop this while true loop. We'll come here and we'll check if universal exit triggered is equal to true. Then we'll just print universal exit triggered exiting the program and will break. What happens is, once if universal exit triggered becomes true, our program will be stopped. And if you guys remember, we also have a flag called SL not placed correctly, which we created right now. We'll say if SL not placed correctly, we'll print SL is not placed correctly, exit in the program and break. We have covered till the SL not placed correctly and all the situation related to that. I think I'll end this video right here, and in the next video we'll code the remaining part of the strategy. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Please like the video and subscribe for more. Thank you.